Welcome everyone to the 2021 launch of the Harvey Nash Group Digital Leadership Report in collaboration with CIONET and MIT CISA. Now in our 23rd year, keen followers of our annual survey will notice a name change from CIO Survey to Digital Leadership Report. Technology is changing and so are the people who lead it. So this new name reflects how embedded technology now is across the entire organisation. And on the subject of digital leaders, thank you so much to every one of you who took part. We know it's quite a detailed survey that takes some time to complete, but the feedback we get from you is that you value the depth and the insight that it gives. Now, last year we reported in the middle of a global pandemic, but if anyone thought a year later things would have calmed down, well, they would be wrong, wouldn't they, Luc?
If last year was all about dealing with the unexpected, this year has been about building a path back to a more stable but very different world. And digital leaders are not short of challenges to overcome. Through this research, we've asked deep questions about how organizations are responding and how digital leaders are evolving. Here we've picked the 8 key insights.
Last year, we reported the biggest surge in technology spend that we have ever recorded. Like the pandemic itself, this surge was unexpected and unplanned for, and at the time, digital leaders were expecting their future expenditure to be cut back to compensate. But actually, as we come out of the pandemic, this reining back of investment has proven to be short-lived. As we enter 2022, digital leaders are actually reporting the highest ever levels of optimism for increasing budgets and headcount in the coming year. And we feel it. Skills shortages are now at the highest they have been for over a decade.
But whereas last year's investment was tactical in nature, the current investment is being made with an eye to the future. And in particular, on making big changes to how organizations engage with customers. Over half the organizations are expecting major change within the next 3 years. It's difficult to overestimate the impact of this. For the majority of businesses, it has become an immediate priority to find new ways of generating revenue and engaging with customers.
If the focus for boards is on business transformation, the big question that remains for digital leaders is how. For many organisations, the pandemic has been a useful catalyst to drive forward their digital strategy, both technical and culturally. A huge investment was made in moving systems to the cloud, making them more available, more scalable and agile. Many found themselves working in new ways, able to pivot and change much more quickly than they expected. And this appetite for change has stuck. In fact, we've seen a big leap in organisations rating themselves highly in their digital strategy, with this figure almost doubling in 4 years. At the heart of these digitally strong organisations are agility and closeness to the customer. They are almost 3 times as successful at pivoting and scaling their customer channels as their peers. But Luc, also at their heart is data.
Yes, it's often been said that data is the new gold. The analogy is particularly relevant. Data insights are not only precious, but they're also proving rare to find and difficult and expensive to attract. As one digital leader said to us in our research, "Don't talk to me about big data. I've got enough small data problems to sort out first." Despite data long being high on the agenda of many organizations, for most, the extent of their investment is in small projects and pilots. It's only those digitally strong organizations that are seeing returns. They're almost twice as likely as their peers to use it to shape their new products and drive new revenue.
Overall, organisations expect around half of their staff's days to be worked from home from now on. Home working appears to have had some very positive effects on productivity and work-life balance, but it's also had a major negative effect on mental wellness, collaboration and, perhaps surprisingly, inclusion. Parallel to this, 8 in 10 of our respondents say the pandemic has made their staff reconsider their life priorities and made the job of retention harder to some extent. Many of the leaders we speak with, both in technology and HR, are still trying to work out how to make this all work. Some feel it's not sustainable. Remarkably though, only a third of digital leaders have redesigned their employee offering to reflect the new hybrid model of work. And this is significant given the slow but relentless rise in skills shortages.
Sustainability is becoming increasingly important to boards. At least 1/5 of the world's 2,000 largest companies have launched net zero strategies. And no doubt others will follow. Increasingly, suppliers are being asked to provide their sustainability credentials when responding to tenders. And those with a clear strategy will have an advantage.
Amongst all this talk of transformation and being close to the customer, one area remains even higher in the minds of boards and digital leaders: cybersecurity. Digital leaders know that no amount of bright ideas or exciting innovations are going to attract the board's attention if their organisation is in the middle of a major cyber attack. The good news is that whilst minor breaches seem to be growing, major attacks seem to be levelling out. The challenge with cybercrime is that, unlike other areas in tech, like cloud adoption, the project never truly becomes business as usual. The bar is always being raised, and cybercriminals increasingly well organised. There are even companies now manufacturing viruses for sale and others selling access to corporate networks. It's becoming a mature sector in its own right and even more scary for that fact.
So into this all steps the digital leader. Digital has never been more important to the board. But as the focus of technology moves from running the business to transforming it, the focus on the digital leader is also changing. Traditionally, the CIO has been turned to, but in the increasingly important areas of customer engagement and transformation, the CIO's role is less clear. In fact, other executives may play a more significant role. In reality, job titles are less important. The real question the board is asking is, who can get us close to the customer? Who can make us agile? And who can bring real insights from our data? Maybe that's the CIO. Maybe that's someone else. But either way, the CIO has an incredibly important role to play, either in leading it or in supporting making it happen. One thing is for sure. Whatever role you're in as a digital leader, it's never been a more exciting time to be one.